Welcome to the Reggae Ukulele Masterclass. And your teacher today is Justin Nalimu from Hilo, Hawaii. And his first instrument was not keyboards, but was actually the ukulele. So you are learning from the native master of this instrument. So please welcome Justin Nalimu.
Thanks, Connor. Appreciate that. So I actually wouldn't call myself the master, but the ukulele is the first instrument that I learned and picked up when I was in the fourth grade in elementary school. So, as a lot of people may know, I'm from Hilo, Hawaii. Grew up in Hawaii, but what most people don't know until now is my first instrument is the ukulele. So, I got a lot of stories to tell you today, and I'm gonna teach you some stuff too. But as our team were putting together the classes, the class schedule, I had all my classes set. I had live keys, reggae keys, worship keys, and music production. I was like, great, I got this. And we were minutes away from finalizing the schedule. And during our last meeting, Mark comes in. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing ukulele class?" So I'm like, "All right, let's do it." And so it's been a minute since I've picked up one because, as I said, I play the keyboard full time, but I do love the opportunity to pick up an ukulele. And I'm thankful and thank you to brother Sam for letting me use this. It's a really nice sound, and I can plug it in. That's what I love about this. Super clean, and then you can do a lot of adjustments with the EQ and the volume right there. Because Marcus brought this over as we were getting ready for our Easter video shoot, and I said I love this ukulele. So when this time came, I reached out to Sam, and he was so awesome to let me use this for today's class. So I grew up taking ukulele classes, and it's like the secret backbone to why I am the way I am regarding music. So like I said, my ukulele journey started in the fourth grade, and we learned like really easy, simple songs from Hawaii, and it's like four chords. We were always in the key of C or the key of F. So this is like the key of C. This is the C chord. And oh, by the way, something that's kind of different from this ukulele and a lot that everyone else may have, this string is tuned lower. But most people have the strings tuned normally. But I'll get into that later. So that's why it may sound kind of different, or that's why I play my chords a little different, just to cover up this top string whenever I'm playing. So in elementary school, I picked it up, and a cool story that a lot of my friends and classmates till this day that they remember me for it. My stepdad, he built me my own homemade ukulele cases because my dad, he's a carpenter. He was, when I was growing up, he was a contractor, and he built houses in Hawaii. And he ended up building me two cases. I had my very first ukulele was a very small one, and so he built me a little red case because with yellow lettering, because our school colors at the time were red and yellow. So whenever I would see friends or classmates nowadays, they're like, "Yeah, I remember you walking around school with that red case." And I tell them, I said, "Yeah, I still have that case too. It's at my mom's house in Hawaii." And as time has gone on, when I went to middle school, I took ukulele classes in the seventh and eighth grade, and my parents got me another ukulele. It was a bigger one, a nicer one. I think it was a custom one too. I loved it. So my dad actually built me another case. It was actually a lot nicer. It was like it had a wood finish to it, and the inside it was like real. It was cushioned. I forgot what the fabric was, but that was an intermediate. That's when I slowly got serious into music because in my first year of middle school, sixth grade, I think I took a cooking class and an art class, and that ended up not working out. So I signed up for ukulele classes on the last two grades, and that's where I met a lot of my music friends. And to give you some background with Hawaii and music, it all starts like 90% of the artists and musicians I know started on the ukulele in an ukulele class, and so that's where I started. And so I would um, I would get together with my friends. And then we would meet up with each other outside of classes, and that's the normal thing to do in Hawaii. Like people would gather in groups in the hallway or outside of the class and just play music. And they would play, like, some people would do the rhythm, other people would do the the solos, and some people would sing. And then now, moving into high school, I took all 4 years ukulele classes, and that's where a few of my friends and I started our first high school band. It was a reggae band, and that's what kind of built me up into the musician that I am today. So, um, high school was fun. I still played the ukulele, but I ended up slowly. That's where I slowly moved into keyboards, cause since there was a ton of ukulele players already in the class, well, why not jump on keys? And then a friend of mine, he was on bass. And the cool thing about this story is a lot of my classmates that I played with, they're still a few of them, two of them that I know, they're still heavily into the music industry right now. My old bass player, he's still working hard. He's a before COVID-19, he was a touring musician like how we were, and then I had a drummer back home. So, anyways, now to the ukulele. I just want to share quick background on how I came up with the ukulele. And as I'm preparing for this, I'm just remembering about all the people that's taught me a lot, all the people that I got to play with, and it's exciting. Like I said, I don't pick this up enough, but this is fun. So let's get to it. Um, I don't remember what the sizes are, but this is the one that I'm using today. Most people have either this size or a smaller one, but I will go through the strings right now. So typically, normally, the ukuleles that you would find or that you have four strings, but I've played some that are six strings. I had a six string, and then I've also played some that are eight strings. So pretty much, um, if it was a six string, Hold on real quick. So if it was a sixth string, two of the strings would be either here and here, or if it was an eighth string, all four strings would be doubled. 2, 4, 6, 8. And the 6 and the 8 sounds cool, and it gives you a fuller sound. But for especially for reggae, I honestly prefer the 4th string. And so the notes is G, C, E, and A. So G, C, E, and A. So that's the, like, if you were tuning your ukulele, that's how I would you would need to tune it. So I have gotten to the point where I can tune my uke without a tuner. I can come close to it, but especially since I'm recording a lot, I do use a tuner, even though I can tune it by ear. But I would recommend you get some kind of tuner on your phone, and just make sure it's right and tight, like so G, C, E, and A. Just so whenever you're playing in a band, or you're doing a studio recording, it sounds good. It doesn't sound off. It doesn't sound flat or sharp. So that's how you tune it. G, C, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, G, C, E, A. And like I said, the G string here is a little lower. So that's how you tune. And then we're going to go into strumming real quick. And I was talking to our team right before we started, and just to give you some background, I did not grow up in a music school or learn theory, so I'm just kind of I'm just going with it today. But I will do my best to explain my technique as slow as I can. So let's talk strumming. And for right now, and I'll go over chords later, but for now we'll do the chords to our song Waymaker. So it's F, C, G, A minor. So that's the chords we're going to use as we talk about strumming techniques. So if you're not doing reggae, but you're just like a regular kind of song, or like if you're in church doing like a worship song, this is how it would be played. So I go down, up, and then I just kind of do this, like where I mute the strings, so and then up again, so up, down, up, so. So that's how I do the strumming. And then with my fingers, I honestly don't know how to explain it, but I just grew up doing it, where I'll just let my whole hand just slide down the ukulele. Because depending on who you are, people play with one finger or play with a pick, but a lot of times it just naturally happens where I just let my all 5 fingers slide down that ukulele. So this is, I guess, how it would be done normally. And then I'll go to full speed. And so, real quick, once you got your hand trained in that rhythm, just feel free to experiment. Like, go, just feel it. Like once you're playing it, you're gonna feel it. So. So I'm sliding my whole hand down now. Or if another thing is, you don't have to do that. You can just keep on strumming. So I'll do a variation like that. So it's like that. Like, so when I'm doing like a worship style, that's how I would do it. And then there's obviously, like, if you're doing like a sustain, or if you're doing like the keyboards would do like a pad, you can just do one strum down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can do that, and then so once you, as long as like you have a good sense of timing, like you can either count it out as you play it, like how I just did, or get a metronome app on your phone, or use a click track on your computer. But as long as you got the timing down, you can mess around with any kind of patterns. As long as it sounds good and it fits, then try it out. So like, this is how, like, if I was playing my uke in church on Sunday for Waymaker, this is how I would do it. So that's doing like a normal strum, and now let's get into reggae, of course. So there's a few different ways you could do it, and as I was getting ready for this last night, I was just exploring different options. And growing up in school, I'll show you what I would do growing up, because like, we lived and breathed reggae music in Hawaii. So you do down, up. So it's quick, like down, up, down, up. So it's kind of similar, like if you've heard the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow from Brother Is, that's like similar to how he would play it. But this is a Waymaker today. So that's an option that Um, like especially in Hawaii, most people like that's how we grew up playing it. But if you're playing it um as if you're like a reggae guitarist or you're in a roots band, like you would do your best to um follow the guitar sound or sound like the technique of a guitar. So you do one strum and then quickly mute the strings. So that's why when I'm doing like reggae stuff, I would prefer to play it where all the strings are being played or covered, just so it's easier for me to mute it. So that's the strumming options. And oh shucks, guys, translators, I'm sorry, but I did forget something. I'm not gonna focus too much on it today, but because this is a quick intro class. But um sometimes I would do, I guess it's like an arpeggiated thing with the fingers, but it just depends on the song. Like for this one, it's usually not needed, but like let me try another progression. So let's try with Waymaker. So just have the chords on your left hand, and the right hand is. So yeah, sometimes I would do that, and let me pull up the chords for you. So, uh-oh, that's not cool. Okay, so the first chord we're doing, like I said, today we're in the key of C for Waymaker, and the first chord is an F chord, and it's I have the diagram on the screen, but what you do, and I'm looking at it as I'm explaining it to you guys, but what you do is you put one finger right here, it's on the E string, and it's on the first fret, and the second finger is on the G string, but on the second fret. So you can do it like this and like this, or start it like this and like this, and that's how you have an F. So once you get these chords, once you know these chords, you get it memorized, then you can go into different inversions. Like if you know the chords already, then you can do like F. I like doing that. Like that's why I love playing with a bigger ukulele, just so I can dance around the whole fretboard. Well, like I tell the guys, the fingers dance. So That's F. And make sure when you have your fingers on the notes, the strings, make sure it's on all the way. So it's not like this. It's supposed to sound like this. This, not this. You don't want it to sound like muted. You want it to sound clean, like that. So, not. You don't want it. You don't want a muted sound. You want to play the notes. And then let's do C. C is like the easiest chord to learn, even on the keyboard. But with C, you just have one finger on the A string on the 3rd fret. So 1, 2, 3. And like I said, make sure your finger's all the way down, so it's not like muted. Like that you don't want. That you don't want. This is what you want. So no, you don't want it to sound muted or not plain. So when you hold the finger down, it needs to be all the way down on the fretboard. Not just barely touching it, but all the way down. And like I said, there's different variations of C. I like to play the all four strings. Or you can do this. And I just love dancing around it. So that's C. Now let's do G. So G, you have one finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, C, the C string. So 1, 2, one finger goes there. Another finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, 1, 2. And then your 3rd finger goes on the 3rd fret of the E string, 1, 2, 3. And there's your G. So there's different ways of doing this. I like to do this, 1, 2, 3. Or people can bar, like if you're a guitar player, you know what that means, but people can put the whole finger on the entire 2nd fret. And then one finger, sorry guys, the next finger on this note right here. So like this. Nope, that's not going to work. So that's when, if you're going to bar the 2nd fret, you make one finger here where it's supposed to go. And then now you add, you don't need to do it like this, but if you're going to bar it, you're going to add a finger here. So that, but I wouldn't recommend doing that today. Just learn the basic version first. So 1, 2, 3. And then, like I said, make sure it's all the way down. Your fingers are all the way on the fretboard. No muted. No. No, it's got to be all the way like that. So all the way down. And then the next chord, we will do E minor, because that's played some parts in the song. So the first finger goes the 2nd fret of the A string, the 3rd fret, and then the 2nd finger goes the 3rd fret of the E string, and then the 3rd finger goes the 1, 2, 2, 3, the 4th fret of the C string. But like I said, because I have a low G, I'm going to cover the G too. So now it sounds like this. So this is a good example where you have to make sure all your notes is pressed down all the way down on the fretboard. Because if it wasn't, this is how it would sound. And you don't want it to sound like that. You want to have a full, clean sound like this. So like this. But most of you should just do the bottom 3 strings. But I'm covering the G. And then the last one for today, just the last chord. We are doing A minor. And A minor is another easy chord to play because it's just one note. And it's just the 2nd fret of the G string. So 1, 2. Just like that. So C and A minor is the easiest chord. C, A minor. So let's run it real quick again, just so we don't forget. And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to contact me on all my social platforms, Facebook, Instagram. Feel free to do that. I am more than willing to help you out in any way I can, because we're all in this together. So here we go. F. Make sure your fingers are all the way down on the fretboard. Not muted, but like this. Now C. Now G. And I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. We'll send out the videos after, so you guys can stop it and rewind it for future use. So this is G. E minor. Remember, have all your strings all the way down on the fretboard. And I'm saying that I'm repeating myself because I feel like a lot of people I've ran into, they have the chords correct, the notes correct, but when they play back for me, it just didn't sound right. And then once I spent a lot more time on it, I realized, I'm like, oh, the finger's not all the way down. So that's E minor. And then A minor. So for Waymaker, the chords is F, C, G, A minor. We have the E minor there because when we wrote this song in production, we decided to go in that direction for the chorus. But the normal chords is just F, C, G, A minor. So don't think that you have to add this E minor in. It's just that our version does have the E minor. So let's try it. So for now, I'm gonna play this in a normal strumming. So this is Waymaker. So F, C, G, A minor, F, C, G, A minor. So once you get these chords down, feel free to experiment with the fingers on the left side, like how I just did. Like all this, no one taught me how to do that. No one said, "Oh, this note is right, this note is wrong." I just kind of just feel it. Like if you got a lot of time on your hands when you're practicing, oh, practice, 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 because um you don't just learn the ukulele today and turn into a rock star tomorrow. You don't turn into like the best ukulele player tomorrow. It takes practice. And like I said, I had to clarify in the beginning. I don't consider myself a master or the best because I'm still learning, and that's a whole nother conversation. So let's say we're in the F chord. You can move your finger here. No, that doesn't work. So just kind of experiment where your other fingers go, where you're playing the chord. Once you got the chords down, so practice the chords first. Once you're comfortable and confident, but keep it simple. Don't play crazy stuff all the time. Only when it's needed. Or you can do this. E7. A minor. And only if you know your chords or you're familiar with theory, then have fun with that. But if not, just go G and then A minor. Because as I was playing this on the ukulele a few months ago with Avi for our podcast. She's singing Waymaker, and I'm just kind of messing around. And it's not too crazy or distracting. You get G, E7, A minor. Okay, so there's that, and so that's how you would play it if you were in church at the worship team. But let's say you're out in school or you're in your local park and you're with your friends, gathered in a circle or on the picnic table, and just play it like this, or yeah, start it like this. So it's kind of like somewhere over the rainbow, but not. And then if you were doing like a reggae guitarist, like this. So that's the different variations that I would play it on our version. And speaking of which, last night I created like a semi acapella version of Waymaker, just so you guys could hear the reference. So Avion's not here today, but she's on my computer. So let me pull that up real quick. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna let the whole song play, but I'm gonna play along to it, and I'm gonna use the different strumming variations that I've showed you. And oh, there's one part, the part after the chorus. It's just the strum, like the one strum down. So it's so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's another section that if you guys are gonna play along or play to exactly what we did, that's another strumming technique. So just going down and then muting it as you go down the second time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna play the whole song on the computer, and I'm gonna play along with her on here, and I'm gonna show you the different strumming variations that I just showed you, and then we'll go from there. So this is like the intro. And maybe we can start with one strum. Now we start strumming. Reggae. And like this. For the chorus. How we do this? Miracle worker, miracle worker. You are the miracle worker. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I can feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I can feel it, you're working. You never stop this again? Strum at the end. So that is a quick overview on how we do Waymaker and how to do Waymaker on the ukulele. Connor, do we have any questions?
Yeah, a couple quick questions. A few other people were asking, that's a concert ukulele, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then, will there be a full PDF that they can download to use to practice?
I can create one. Yeah, what I'll do, and I will create something with the chords for you guys to and I'll put it all in one file for you guys to learn it and practice it.
Great. And then Alexandra's asking, you mentioned they can reach out to you through social media. What is your social media tag?
Facebook is my full name, Justin Nalimu, and Instagram is 808 Killer Whale, 808 KILLAWHALE, or just type in my full name on Facebook or Instagram, and that's how you can find me. And I have no problem spending more time with you guys or answering more in-depth questions. And yeah, I can write something out or get something written out with the chords, like chord sheets and even the diagrams for the chords.
Awesome. And then Tim is asking, can you talk about how to mute the strings when playing reggae?
Okay. So it's done. You can do it with the simple chords. Like if you do it like with the regular chords, you just gotta be quick with muting the sounds. So you don't want that. But this is what you want. So you just gotta cover the strings like with your palm, I think. But if your chords is all four strings, as I said, when you have your fingers all the way down on the fretboard, now you take it off. You still hold the strings, you hold the notes. See? So if you leave it down, you don't want that for reggae. But if you lightly take it off, that's what you want. So, and then you can do, so like, let's say this is another commonly used reggae progression, like C, D minor. So yeah, I like that, Tim. So just I would recommend learning once you get the chords down, just learning the versions where it covers all four strings, and so it's easier to mute, so you don't have to use your palm to mute it. Like it works, but it's just not natural. But if you cover the all four strings with the chords, just like that.
Awesome. And then Mark is just asking if you could kind of show or clarify switching from C to G chord and keeping up with the tempo for, I guess, people having difficulty with the transitions. Do you have any recommendations for that to stay on tempo?
I would either say like to stay on tempo. Let's talk about that first. To stay on tempo, either count it out verbally or count it out with your foot, or get a metronome click track on your phone or your computer. So let's say we're counting it verbally. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can either count it like that or tap your feet instead of counting with your mouth. So just or use a metronome and click track. And if we're talking about the transitioning from one chord to another, I think it was C to G. So if you're doing the regular strum, you can do one strum with nothing. The up strum, you take your fingers off and go to G. So I'll try to do it slower. So let's see how it works with the whole progression. F. And just when you practice, like I said, practice. Just move as slow as you need to. Don't feel like, oh, I learned this. I gotta practice or get this down so I can record it tomorrow for my church. No, take as long as you need to. And if you're a beginner, don't even think about volunteering yourself to play lead or accompany a singer this weekend at church, because you need to practice. And I'm saying that from experience. I went through 4th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7 years of classes by amazing teachers. One of them might be watching too. I just talked to him last night. But I went through 7 years, and that's just class alone. And it was nothing super deep in theory, but that's why I'm at the point where I can just dance That's how I'm able to dance all over the fretboard, because it just takes practice, and take your time. You don't have to rush. Like if it takes you all day or all week just to learn how to strum or how to play the chord F and playing it correctly without muting it, without doing that, if it takes you the whole day or the whole week, that's fine, because you're moving at your own pace. So take your time. Take a day to learn F. Take another day to learn C. Take the next day to learn G or E minor or A minor. And then once you are at a place where you can play these chords without it being muted, you don't want it to sound like that. You want it to sound clean. Once you're at the place where all your chords are sounding clean, now take time to practice the strumming. So take the day to do like that slow worship strumming. If you're spending all day doing that, that's completely fine, you guys. As long as you know what you're doing with this hand for the chords and this hand with the strumming, take as much time as you need to. And then once you got the chords, the strumming down, all the way down, now play with the transition. So Waymaker is F, C, G, A minor, E minor. Like Waymaker is 5 chords. But let's say with the chords I showed you today, just focus on C, G, and F. And then, once you're ready, then just have more fun with it. But you're just experimenting and just taking your time on it. So, yeah, that was the long version, but I hope I answered your question, Mark. Connor, do we have any more?
Yeah, for beginners, what's a good inexpensive brand of ukulele that someone can get for themselves or for their kids?
You know what? Honestly, anything you can find, but don't go buying it from the ABC store or Walmart, please. Um, if you're in another country, I would say there's like super small ones, and I think like a good average price is like $40 to $60 USD. Yeah, I can go look around and send specific links. But yeah, please do not get your ukulele from the ABC store or from Walmart, please. Look online. There's super cheap ones that's decent. So it's not this size, it's like a smaller one, and if it's around the $40 to $60 range, go get it. Cause you just need something that can play your 4 notes, the 4 strings. You don't need, as a beginner, you don't need a fancy thing to plug in or the strap or the mixer. No, just get something that's 40 or 60. Uh, yeah, that's the best thing I can think of. And if I'm able to send the emails out to you all, I will include that information with the PDFs. Next one.
Danny's asking, sometimes his ukulele is out of tune frequently. Is the problem the ukulele or is it the player?
Mm, it could be no, it being out of tune. It's not the player. It could be the strings or the ukulele itself, and just make sure, like, if it's the ukulele, yeah. So it's not the player, because once you're playing, you're here and you're here. You never touch this at all. Once it's fine, you're fine here. You stay here with this hand and here with this hand. But if it goes out of tune, just be ready to tune it right away or get your tuner out. But no, it's not the player. It could be the strings that's sliding or that may need to be changed. Or yeah, that's the only way I could answer that for now.
Awesome. And Ken Alani's asking, I love those picking fills. How do you know if you're playing too much picking, or is it more preference, or is it depending on making it congregational?
Great question. Hey, cuz, I think that's her. Um, if you're in church, less is more. Definitely less is more. Keep it congregational. So if we're doing the CGF thing, you don't want to do any crazy things like no, don't do that in church. Just if you really want to do a picking or a solo deal, just keep it simple. Like super simple. Like I would honestly just say just do the but like if you're at the beach, you can play around with yeah, so if we're talking, great question. Like if you're in church or like, so if you're playing this in church, keep it as congregational as you can, because it's not about you. It's about leading people to the Lord, and people need to be hearing the message of your song. If it's Waymaker, people need to learn. People need to be reminded that God is a waymaker, not hear all the crazy ukulele sounds. They just want to hear, and then the vocal singing Waymaker. So when you're in church, you take the back seat. But if you're at the beach, just have fun. I'm not saying show off, but like when you're at the beach, just you have more freedom. But at church, I would definitely say keep it congregational. And then for the studio, if this, I know this wasn't asked, but if you're in a studio setting, just know your parts and know your roles, and just practice, because if you're gonna do, make sure you do for all 10 takes. Don't do for the first take and for the next take, or for the third take. When you're doing takes at the studio, keep it the same thing and keep it simple, because especially if you're playing with the vocals, you don't want to be too distracting. So I hope I answered that question correctly. What else we got?
And could you just kind of show and maybe slow down the different strumming patterns specifically that you're playing, like the reggae pattern and then some of the other ones? And maybe you could come up a little closer to the screen and just kind of show what your right hand's doing.
Sure. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, so let me do the regular one first. Sorry. No. Okay, perfect. So that one is down, up, down, up, down. That's that one, and then the next one we'll do the reggae one. This is like what was done on Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So just down, up. And then the other variation for reggae is just down. So oh, when you're doing the two strums, please do not. That doesn't. It can work, but it's not natural. So when you do, it gets the job done, but it's not like a natural feel. So when you go down, make sure you come up. Don't go down twice. But for the other strumming, it's like this. Just one going down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So here's what I'm gonna do too. Oh shoot. Oh. Okay. I will. Okay. Weird. I will do. It's gonna take a little time to send out everything to you guys, because what I want to do is I'm gonna show you, like, go more in depth with the strumming and the chords. So I'll make sure that there's a good visual on the hand. And like I said, you guys feel free to keep it simple, because my hands are naturally moving. So when I do this, I don't know how to explain that, but if I slow it down, I can. I just let it slide. So I'll make sure that I have as much detailed teaching information when we send out the videos and the PDFs. So Connor, do we have anything?
Jamie's asking, do you have a traditional Hawaiian song and rhythm you grew up playing that you could show us?
Not really Hawaiian song. There's a bunch. Okay. Let me think. Sorry. That's I don't have a specific song, but I can show you what's called a Hawaiian Vamp, which is the beginning of like every Hawaiian song out there. And okay, hold on. I'm like making this up as I go with the camera, so sorry. Okay. So let's say we're in the key of C. Yeah, there we go. So this is we'll do this class for semester 2, but I'll do something quick. So we're in the key of C. A Hawaiian Vamp would be D7, G7, C. And yeah, I can't think of, plus I don't sing anyways, but I can't think of a specific song, but I can do like a typical Hawaiian song progression. So yeah, this is where you'll see the hand move quick. But yeah, this is extra, so I can go into this in depth next semester. Been years since I had my hand move that fast, but yeah, that's the quick version, guys. Yeah, I think I haven't played Hawaiian music since I was in high school, and I'm 30 years old, so thank you for that. Connor, is there any more?
Not at this second. I guess one person asked a little bit earlier, in regards to tuning, if someone has like a soprano ukulele or like the different sizes, is tuning any different between the different types?
Okay, so there's another one. I think it's like a bigger one. It is tuned different and played differently, but I honestly haven't even touched that one because it's a different tuning and the chords are played different, I believe. But yeah, I can do more research on that, but 9 times out of 10, especially if you're a beginner intermediate player, like you're gonna find like it doesn't matter the size unless it's like a bigger one, like a super huge one. The tuning stays the same, G, C, E, A, and sometimes depending on the size, the string may be low. So like this one, it may be like a low G, or some have a low C. Like this is a regular C, but some could have like a bass C, or when it's a 6 or 8 string, some could be tuned higher, but still the same notes. But yeah, I haven't played much with there is like a bigger one with another style of tuning, but I haven't done that. Um, Sorry, I don't play guitar or acoustic guitar, so I wasn't able to do this with the guitar. Someone asked me to do it last night, but it's either this or the keyboard. But I love playing the ukulele. It's fun, and like I said, um, once you got the chords down, and even if you know what you're doing, just have fun with it. Even if you're a really advanced player with chords or notes, just go back to the basics and just have fun with it. And if you got friends who can play or play acoustic guitars or an ukulele, just get together and mess around. And especially if you can sing, that's how you write songs. So just go in a group, just like high school days, and just jam out. And just go with that for a few minutes with your friends and see if anyone writes anything. It could be shower singers or Beyonce, but as long as you're playing and writing for the Lord, that's all that counts. So that was that's the reggae ukulele class. How are we doing, Connor?
We're doing well.
Cool.
So thank you, everyone. Just Juju has such a blessing, both with all the production classes he was doing and running these master classes, but also leading this very unique and special ukulele class. And he can't do this and doesn't do this for free. He is a full-time missionary using his time and his talents to serve the Lord. And so if you've been blessed, you can go to CHRISTAFARI.com/donate and to donate directly to Juju in order to allow him to keep serving both through these master classes, through touring and making music. And so we just appreciate him and his hard work to be able to put this on. And so if you feel called to donate, you also will receive Avion's new Fly album, which Juju contributed to, and you definitely will enjoy that. And we also want to thank our interpreters that are translating all of these classes as well. So thank you very much for tuning in. And you can, let's say another question came in. Is there a few CHRISTAFARI songs with the ukulele?
Honestly, no. And there's a reason for that. With the sound that we have, the ukulele honestly doesn't fit with it. But let's say maybe in the future, I may do like a acoustic remix or a ukulele version of it. But oh, you know what? I'm sorry. There is two songs. It's on our Christmas album, White Sand. No, sorry. I gotta get the titles right because I was just about to name a song that I grew up on. Sorry, guys. But yes, we do have two songs that I played on the uke, but it was for Christmas, so that was the fun exception. But like with our latest songs, you will not, sorry again. Times played my ukulele on Beleza on the last album, but normally with the CHRISTAFARI sound, the ukulele just doesn't fit, and I get that, and just knowing that sound, that you want to have a good reggae and global sound, and that's why we have the specific sound that we have. But maybe for like we're gonna cover the blessing. Who knows? Maybe I might release an ukulele version of that. But
So it looks like Mele Kamikimaka and
Mele
Reggae Christmas
Kalikimaka and
featuring Acapella.
yeah, and White Sand Beach Christmas. That's the other one. I was about to say White Sandy Beach. It was a song I grew up with. the first song I learned. No, the second song I learned back in fourth grade. So I mixed those two songs up. But yeah, Mele Kalikimaka and White Sand Beach, Christmas on our Christmas album, and Times Did Beleza on our last album on the ukulele. And
Was there
oh,
any was there
go
any
ahead.
ukulele on Aloha Kekua?
Oh yeah, there was. Capenna did that, but it was just the flat pick. It was all right. Something like that. But that's where you would hear the ukulele on Aloha Keakua. It's real faint, but it is there. And that's real quick. That's speaking about this instrument. Capenna is actually one of the bands that inspired me like a lot. And because I grew up listening to Uncle Kelly, every September his band would come to Hawaii, play at the local carnival, and I'd sit next to him while he signed autographs, and I love watching him play the ukulele. So I did that for years, and once I joined CHRISTAFARI, we toured Hawaii, and we did a event together at the Waikiki Shell. So if you're from Hawaii, you realize how huge this is, because I grew up listening to Capenna, and I kind of honestly that night I kind of felt off because it was a fundraiser, and they had Capenna opening up for us, and I'm like, I told Mark and Tori, I said, that's not how we should have been opening up for them. But when we were there doing the sound check, I watched Uncle Kelly and the rest of the family just do their sound check, and then I was starstruck. I was fanning out because I'm like, dang, I grew up listening to Uncle's music, and now he's a few feet away playing his ukulele. And so Mark saw that, and he made the introduction, and Uncle Kelly was super cool enough to let me play his ukulele. And then later on that night, they played another event, and me and our old guitarist went to go see their event, and they called us up on stage. So I got to do one song with Capenna. That was pretty cool. And then now, they're on our Christmas album, and they did Aloha Keakua with us. So it's pretty cool having that relationship with a band that I grew up listening to from Hawaii. So yeah, Capenna has been my inspiration with ukulele playing. And yeah, every other band in Hawaii, they're amazing. I know a lot of them, but like when I think of an ukulele in a band, that's Capenna. So I would highly recommend you go check them out. They got really good, amazing, well diverse music, and go check them out, because that's where, like, that's the master right there, Uncle Kelly Boy D Limo. But real quick, going off script, guys, thank you again for coming out today. I really appreciate it. And this is our final week, so thank you guys. If to all the returning students, you guys are the best. Jamie, Tim, George, Mark. There's a lot of you I see, because if I'm not here, I'm in the next room hosting or doing tech. So I see everyone who comes in. So thank you for coming in for all these classes as a tech and as a Zoom host. It's so awesome seeing you guys every day. And Mark and Tori will be doing a booking class pretty soon, in about a half hour. But guys, I want to encourage you with something. Um, as I've stated for weeks, I do this unto the Lord, and so does our entire team. So for the last 4 weeks, you've watched us show you how we do what we do with our music, our instrument, our production, our video, our ministry. But the last 4 weeks will come down to tomorrow's classes. And if you didn't plan on it, I want to encourage you guys, I want to challenge you guys to join us for our 2 classes tomorrow. Because as we're grateful for your donations, tomorrow we'll show you and teach you why we're asking for donations. Tomorrow we'll show you and teach you why we are full-time missionaries. So at 3 p.m., the entire band, yes, I said it, the entire band will be on the same Zoom link, and we will tell you guys how to be full-time missionaries. We will talk about fundraising. We'll talk about meeting up with partners. We will talk about our journey as a missionary, the highlights and the lowlights. We will talk about how we were stuck in a bind and a big generous donor helped us do our Melanesia tour. And I'm sure it'll be brought up that we deal with hardships on the road, as it was mentioned a few times this semester. Exactly a year ago, I was put in the hospital in Trinidad and Tobago, diagnosed with Bell's palsy, and to this day, I'm paying for that visit. So we will talk about everything to do with being a music missionary, and that's 3 p.m. tomorrow. At 5 p.m., Mark and Nikita will do a fundraising 101 class. So I'm glad you guys took my class. I'm glad you guys took the vocal production or management class. But I would love to see you guys tomorrow at the 3 and 5 p.m. class. So thank you again. And Connor, are we good with questions, or is there more?
Alexandra has a great question. Is it possible to adapt every worship song on the ukulele? Is there a site that gives worship chords for ukulele?
Um, yeah, it's possible. So first question, it is possible. It's as if you're playing the piano. Like the ukulele is the little brother of the guitar, the acoustic guitar. So whatever you would do on an acoustic guitar, you can do it here too. And for chords, the chords, the placement here are different, obviously, but the chords will remain the same. So if a keyboard player or guitar player has F, C, G, A minor for Waymaker, they have it on their sheet. You can also use that for your sheet music. And so yeah, and I would highly recommend that, because I forgot about this, but that's where I got my start in my local worship team. I I loved music and I loved Jesus, but I couldn't sing, but I could play my ukulele. So my uncle at the time, he said, "Hey, come to practice and just play along with us." So I spent like a whole month just showing up to practice because they wanted to see if this is something serious for me. They wanted to make sure that I was reliable and committed. And so after a month, they put me on stage, and I just played my ukulele. I didn't even do any solos. I did this the whole service with the piano. So this does work in worship. And then if there's a moment where the instruments drop out, or the pastor is praying, or there's a altar call, you can just do a sustaining chord or one strum. So So this does work in worship, but as I emphasized earlier and in my other class, don't let this be a distraction, because the main focus is worshiping the Lord, not hearing all the fancy strumming or the fancy picking. So yes, it's possible for worship, and I would highly encourage that, because that's how I got my start in worship music. I started with the ukulele for a few years. Oh, and mine wasn't even this fancy. I had a very small one, and we had it mic'd up like this. So I showed up every Sunday with the small ukulele with a microphone right here. And so yeah, I'd encourage that. Cool. So I think we're good. And again, thank you everyone for coming in, and we will see you later tonight or tomorrow. God bless you.